Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining the new G2X training. I'm Alexa Choi, your host, guide, and Sherpa for today. I am the Chief Operating Officer of G2X, and I have line of sight into everything that we are building and how you can use what we have today. So without further ado, I will share my screen and we will get started. Okay, hopefully you can see my screen. Before we jump too far into it, I wanted to let you know that we have Marianne on the call as well. And she will be the one to let me know if you have any questions, if you have any, problems, any technical difficulties. She's the one who's going to help us. So let's go ahead and kick it off. What you're looking at right here is our homepage. And this is when you log into G2X, this is the first thing that you are going to see. Marianne, can you just confirm for me that you can see the homepage?
Yes, indeed.
All right, fantastic. We will continue going along. All right, we did a major update of G2X I think at this point it was like early September. And we really changed a lot of our navigation on the site. and then these trainings are kind of our way to like help folks find what they're used to finding and also know that there's new functionality kind of built in, and then also to kind of give you an update on what's coming up. So one thing I wanted to point out up here is that where it shows my little photo here, this is your personal profile, and this is actually how you go ahead and update your photo, fill out your personal profile, and we're really encouraging folks to do so because one of the things that we are going to be building into the system is the ability to chat with folks across different companies. And also within your own company too, if you wanted to send a message within G2X and, advertise interest and like all that stuff for teaming purposes. So you're definitely going to want to fill out your profile, get that going. And then we have this right next to it. You have your dark mode, light mode, and it's super fun to play around with that. So I would recommend doing that. This little gear up here is where you can, if you are the account administrator, you can invite folks from your team. So for example, you set up for a corporate membership for 6 members and you are the account administrator. So there's one. So you have 5 seats to send out. That's the area where you'd go in there and do that kind of account management. So it's right there under the gear sign. And then the reason why I'm going over this first is because we've been getting a lot of feedback that the saved search functionality, which is right here, is actually hard to find. So when you save a search, and I'm going to show you how to do that, when you want to edit that search or come back to that search, it is going to be right here. So then right next to that, you have your bookmarks, where if you wanted to like something or bookmark something, that's where you're going to be able to come back and find it. Does that all make sense for everybody? I always act like I'm talking to y'all in person. I just imagine we're all hanging out, good times. I did look at the attendee list ahead of time, and I know that I have some friends on the call, so thank you for joining. It's good to see everybody. Going to move on from there. So up here is, your toolbar, I would say, right? And then you have your search bar, which I'm going to talk about in a second. Before we do that, I'm going to talk about events. G2X has the most robust events database in the entire government community. GovCom is what I like to call the government community. So we have industry events that are specific to agencies. We have opportunity industry days. We also have a lot of industry events that are associations and then other things as well. So what you're looking at is really the calendar for the end of the month. I'm sure I'll be seeing a lot of my favorite friends over here at Imagination ELC in Hershey. Kennedy Space Center, this is an amazing event. I've been there a few different times, and I think this year it's actually the first or second time it's live since COVID, which is kind of cool. Everybody kind of gets out. All the NASA executives are out there. It's over there at Cape Canaveral usually, so that's pretty cool. Civitech Annual Gala. This is one of the, I would say, charities that we like to support over here at G2X. And if you come on down, you can kind of see the different things that we cover here. And then you can, scroll through here, or what I like to do. So, one thing I noticed this year a lot is that you can see ELC and DOTIS at the same time. That's very bad timing on the event planner. I'm sure that the DOTIS event planner didn't care that ELC was happening, but they should, because there's a lot of folks that are going to have to choose between those 2 events, and that's not good for anybody, right? So if you're in here and you're looking to put some events on the calendar, I would recommend that you come in here and play with the 2025 calendar and see what's already on the books. And even play with 2024, because you can extrapolate if it's one of a big event like the one that we had last week. It's okay, we had it October 17th. All right, cool. It was on the same day as the GAIN marketing kind of government contracting event, which was not great, and so the way that you can kind of get around that is extrapolate for 2024. Yeah, we had that event this time, probably going to have it for next year. So I think, the event strategy that you have going into 2025 needs to be built out early, and it needs to be built out kind of comprehensively, because these days business development is tied in so tightly to the event strategy that I feel like understanding what your company's event strategy is, understanding what your personal event strategy is, and how it's tied back to your pipeline is absolutely critical for your success in 2025. All right, thanks for coming to my TED Talk on that one. Popping over into the search bar, this is really where you can either do it here or you can do it here. This is kind of the same search bars, really. When you're here in the advanced search, I wanted to point out this little tab here is for the G2 exclusives. I get a lot of questions like, hey, Alexa, not the device, the person, me. Hey, Alexa, I want to build a pipeline. What can I do to build a pipeline? The pipeline reports live here. This is basically what the G2 exclusives are. I mean, do we write about other things sometimes? Yes, we do. For example, VETS2, with T4NG and CIOSP4, both living in protest purgatory, and we don't know, especially CIOSP4, if that's ever going to really happen. It's my personal opinion that it will not, but I think T4NG will eventually get their act together, and I think that that will move forward sometime early next year. But because the government still has to hit their SDVOSB goals, they did add 1 billion in funding for VETS2, and so we wrote an article about that. So the G2 exclusive are mostly pipeline reports to help you add things to your pipeline and really kickstart your BD and capture processes. But eventually, sometimes we will write about other things that are exciting to us, and hopefully to you, because if they're exciting to us, vice versa, hopefully you find it to be. So I'm going to pop open the very first one. This was actually published today. Brittany Winkler, I don't know if you're on the call, but this looks awesome. So if you can always download, something that you can take into a meeting if somebody asked you to. So it's basically going to be a little bit of information. And then of course you have your pipeline top 20 small business awards. And then you've got your, all kinds of things to kind of go through here. So that's a really great report to have if you are looking to do any kind of pipeline building. And the cool thing is as you kind of scroll down here, our analyst, Brittany, does an amazing job putting together expiring task orders that are related to the IDIQ, key points of contact. And then really it's like contract by contract of the kind of data that you need to get started to add this into your pipeline and to at least get you on your way to, your first couple of step reviews. So I'm going to stop there and just ask if anybody has any questions.
I don't see any.
Okay, perfect. Excellent, wonderful. Well, with that being said, then I'm going to pop over into some of our verticals. So you can see that we have health, FedCiv, and DoD. I'm going to kind of talk a little bit about FedCiv. I do have to say, I'm going to WikiLeak one thing. We do a lot of thinking and talking internally about how we can pull ourselves out of a verticalized system. So I get that a lot. Why do you guys have 3 verticals? I want one system where everything lives. So I do have to say that we are trying to work towards that. We would love to provide everything to everybody so that way, if, for example, suddenly you're going to start chasing DoD work, but you don't have the, G2X DoD, well, hopefully in a future world, you'll have everything all in one place. But right now, I think we'll always have it segmented out so you can find things easier. And while you're here, I just wanted to say that, a couple of things. First of all, we started adding forecast items into the opportunity section because we realized that a lot of times the forecast is where folks find opportunities to add to their pipeline to kind of get ahead of that business development process. So really, you can see here that we have this one here, and that's a good example of what I'm talking about. But, kind of get a little bit comfortable and cozy with how this looks. One thing I do want to say is that while you're over here in the search tab, you can actually filter down by agencies here also. So if CMS is really a target for you, you can filter everything by CMS, hit close, and then you're gonna notice this blue bar popping up here. And if you click that, it's gonna ask you to save your search. Now, if you wanted to even further filter, you can do it from here directly and say, okay, well, I mean, don't add a platform to it because that's obviously gonna be health, right? But if you wanted to add a category and say, I'm only interested within CMS, in, for example, opportunities, or I'm only interested in awards or industry moves, right? You're trying to track what's going on, then you can really filter that down. And as soon as I always like to change this and just be like CMS, and then I would say something like this is open search, right? And hit create. Once you do that, you're gonna notice it pops you into this bell tab up here. It brings you right there. So you can pop this open and you can actually run, edit, delete, or any of those things from here. And so the cool thing about that is once you're here, then you can kind of get all of your CMS information in one place. Okay, all right, so that goes with all of our platforms. Really, if you want to set up some saved searches, which I recommend that you definitely do, make sure that you come into your search tab up here, filter down this way, or you can always search up here at the top if, for example, you wanted to use a keyword like not my favorite keyword. I feel like agile was so much more cool about 5 years ago, maybe 6. I think now we need to use like intelligent automation or some generative AI keyword to kind of like be cool. But anyway, so agile, you can kind of see what happened there. It pulled up everything. Then you can save your search. You can filter it by platforms. You can filter it by agencies. Right now, it's looking like it's still filtered on CMS. So just be careful that like when you're adding searches and criteria and things like that, keep a note up here if you've done some filtering that you just remove it as you're trying to move forward, because if you keep it up there, it's going to keep getting smaller and smaller rather than larger and larger. So kind of like keep that in mind as you expand and contract your search terms. Alrighty, I'm actually demoing from a system that gives a little bit more of what you have if you probably log in. So this is kind of cool because I get to talk to you about what's coming up and coming. And really, we're on the cusp of finalizing what we like to call our capture suite. And that's going to include all opportunities, all awards, plus a pipeline tool where you can pull things from the forecast, you can associate news, you can associate events, you can also pull in awards and opportunities into a pipeline and then track the pipeline, report on the pipeline, and do all those things. Because we realize that, everybody has to present their step reviews from somewhere, right? We want to give you that platform and make sure that you have a way of doing it. One of the things that we released recently to a lot of fanfare actually is this down here, this company profile section. And I'm just going to pop in here and grab a company. Let's see, I'll do Axel Informatics. Why not? Why not? When you get in here, you're gonna see, wow, then maybe this one is not as exciting as some of the others. There we go. I was gonna say the numbers were not popping up, but there they are. This is actually a very exciting one. So you're gonna notice that what we have done is we've added information in like a long scrolling page. So we used to have it like tabbed out, but we've done a little bit of improvements to this, and you're gonna see as you kind of come down here, all the information up here at the top that you might need. You're gonna see the socioeconomic statuses over here, the people on G2X, which you can click into and get a better idea of who you might reach out to for teaming or anything else. You've got your lifetime contract value up here. You've got your awards up here, which we're gonna deep dive into, but you can then see over time how the business has been performing. And this is really important looking at a graph like this when you're trying to figure out if this company is a small business, right? Because it's really, it's like 37.5 over 5, right? That's like whether you can qualify as a small business or not. So, businesses really try to keep track of that number pretty tightly. And so this is kind of how you can then back into that. And as you come on down, it looks like they have one customer. Okay, cool. If you look at any other company or a lot of companies, you're going to see multiple bubbles with different colors. And we are going to change this to a tree graph. I think that's going to be in the next release. Coming on down, you're going to see that all of their awards are here. And one of the things at G2X is that we are really, really, what's the word I'm looking for? We really care about the quality of the data because, we have used other tools or I know I have used other tools and, doing BD and capture where you're looking at it and you're like, where did this data even come from? And then if I have to, as a BD capture person, go and do more research, then actually the tool that I'm using is not being helpful to me at all. It's actually taking more time, right? So I find that when I use a lot of tools that are out there, I have to double second guess the data. So G2X maps it back to USA spending as the source of truth. So you can know that the data is actually accurate that you're looking at. So that's where if you click into any of these, it's going to take you straight to the USA spending link. All right, does anybody have any questions about any of this? No? Wow, everybody's being very quiet. No problem, I'll keep going. All right, so you'll notice that when I clicked into the people section, it brought me straight into the people directory. So you can play around in the people directory and keyword search for different people and different agencies. Actually, that's something I just reminded myself to talk about, is that when I say the word agency, I was actually referring to companies, but about, I would say, a third of the readership of G2X is the US federal government. So you will find folks there as well. So that is an interesting thought process as you think about how you want to contribute as a corporate member to the industry insights page. If you are so inclined, if you come up here, we do publish different articles for customers, and you can kind of see a little bit about what they're about here. And that would be a really great way for marketing for your company if you were looking to get in front of particular agencies. So let's go ahead and move on to GovAIQ. So in May of this year, G2X purchased GovAIQ and we implemented it and added it into our suite of tools. You know, it really is our intention to provide one pane of glass for all things that you might need in a BD capture role. And even you're going to find later when we launch our tool called Catalyst, we're looking to even break into that key personnel recruiting light ATS system space as well. So GovAIQ is here, and it really is a AI powered proposal writer, kind of a proposal co-pilot type of a thing. So when you first log into it, and I'm just going to click on it really fast to show you because people get tripped up on this a lot. If you are a G2X member at the corporate level, you have access to this tool already. So if you are an individual member, you do not. I mean, there are actually benefits to being a corporate member, and this is one of them. So you're going to come here and verify your subscription first, and you want to use the same login, obviously, and username and email and all that. And then once you go through that process, then you're going to come in here and click on login, and this will take you back in here. So once you get through that quagmire, then come over here. Now you're in here, right? And once you get in here, you can upload any statement of work from anywhere. You can say create, and you can upload it from your computer. You can upload it from SAM. And once you do that, I'm going to show you what it looks like. I'm going to open this one, but before I could jump over there, I just wanted to say that you can also create teams. And the intelligence thing is really like an Atom feed to SAM. So you're just going to find other opportunities in there. But teams is really where you can create, kind of invite different people in to work on the same document. That's really the point of that. So I'm going to open this one, which is the FTC Drupal work. And let me actually just pop in here because I'm going to show you two different things. Once you kind of get this open, it's going to pop open into the analyst view where you can actually ask questions, and it's going to give you kind of like, it's going to read it, and then it will give you a little bit of, it's like you're chatting with the analyst. It's like some AI analyst, I guess. So Copilot is really, I would say, the meat and potatoes of this product. And so it's right here, it's the second one. And what it does is it will read the statement of work and it will create a response with trained bots answering the questions. So a couple of questions I get a lot is, are you going to upload your past, are they going to ask me for my past performance? And then, so no, really, this tool is not really one of those tools where you upload your past performance, you upload the statement of work, it squishes it together, and you have a proposal, baby. That is not what this is. This is basically like you upload the statement of work. We're going to take the trained bots, and then we're going to use AI to write a complete response based on AI stuff. And then you're going to be able to copy and paste this and use it as an outline, as a starting place. This is really light, light pink, right? You don't want to use this as a red or anything else. We don't condone any of that. We're just saying like, hey, this is a good starting spot, right? Couple of things. When you're in here, can you use your past performance? Absolutely. And the way that you do that is you highlight a whole section and you come in here, you say command and you say, please add my past performance. And then you will paste your past performance here, hit this expand, make it more detailed. It's going to integrate it and put it in there for you right there. So that's one way of doing it. And then you can also, this has a pretty rich editor where you can come in here and say autocomplete, and it will take like 2 seconds and it will add a little bit more information on each one of these things. So if you come in here and kind of see, you're going to notice that it's a little bit generic. I mean, it doesn't know your company. And by the way, some companies really like that. They don't want to upload their information into a, very public database, right? So that's GovAIQ in a nutshell. I did want to pop back into, I think I'm going to show you guys the G2X homepage really quick and show you guys how Lumen works. So this is the G2X homepage, and you're going to notice a lot of changes here. We're constantly trying to make this page very dynamic and interesting and helpful. But while you're here, if you just go here and put a / and then paste in a SAM link, it doesn't even matter what SAM link it is. It will start what we call Lumen, and Lumen is going to, and it's doing this for me because I didn't have an exact, I had an exact one saved and then it stopped saving it. But if you go back to G2X and / and put any SAM link that you want here, just like the one that you see up here, it'll open Lumen, which is one of those analysts that you can ask any questions to. So it is a tool that's already sitting here for you to use, and it's free and it's open. So the other thing I was going to say is the company profiles page, this page is also free and open. So anybody can get in here and use it. And this is something we've been showing a lot of government themselves also as they're doing their searches. So you can see like this, for example, this company, and by the way, I don't know this company, which is sort of shocking. I know a lot of companies, I don't know this particular one looks maybe like it's maybe small, but look at their socioeconomic status, right? Woman-owned small business, veteran-owned, it's just, they have everything over here, right? But it's gonna be really nice for the government to be able to come in here and really see what it is that these companies are doing. But then the question that we get is, well, how do we control the data that's on here? Because you can see you can upload documents, all these different things. Claim your company profile. That's a huge thing right now for all the companies. And you can only claim your company profile if you are a G2X member. So hopefully, if you are a G2X member and you haven't done it yet, come in here and claim your company profile, upload your capability statement into the documents section, and then make sure that all the things that are associated at the G2X Insights level are things, you don't have to actually do anything with that. That's something that we do automatically. I just want to show you guys how that actually looks, because I don't think I went all the way down. But as you come all the way down here, you can see that we're rolling up all of the information that we have about this particular company into one spot so you can find it really easily. And that's going to be really nice marketing also. As you look, people look for you, you look for other people, and the government is also in the mix. So it's kind of like bringing all of the worlds together. You're going to notice that Axel Informatics is a claimed profile, so you can find that up here at the top. Okay, any questions for me? No? This is your time. I'm going to stop sharing. Okay, I see Q&A. Sorry, I missed the first few minutes. How do we get to this portion of the site? Sorry for the basic question. Is this at the membership level? This person who asked this question is really somebody. So Marianne, can you make sure that the chat is enabled? Because I have a feeling that it's not, because somebody asked the question via the Q&A. So
It is.
it is? Okay. I'm not sure who asked the anonymous question. If you want to come off mute and ask me again, I'll show you how to get there. Um,
If you raise your hand, click the raise your hand button. I can take you off mute. If you want to talk.
okay, so when I first started talking on this training, I actually started up here, and all of these tools are available to everybody. And in fact, if you're a corporate member, every single thing that I've shown today is available to you. The only thing that is not available to you is the GovAIQ tool if you are an individual member. Likewise, claiming your company profile, you have to be a member of G2X and able to do that. So those are the only two things. Everything else is included in your subscription. So hopefully that answers the question. I know that we went from here and then we went down this direction. So I think I was able to cover the question with that, hopefully. Okay. Alrighty. Well, if nobody else has any other questions, that concludes our training for today. Everybody have a great day and we'll see you soon at ELC.